Hey there, so how are you? How's your day going? I hope you're having a good one. And I wanted to today pose a question to you to hear your thoughts, and then I'll kind of give you my answer. So, can innovation be taught? And more specifically, can innovation be taught as a process? Now, I know that this is quite an interesting topic and could be potentially a little bit controversial for you. So I really want to understand your thoughts in the comments below. But for me, I would say that yes, innovation, if not necessarily taught in all ways, can definitely be put into a process. And you know how much I love processes and systems, so this should come as no surprise to you. But when I'm thinking about innovation, I really want to kind of outline my process for going through things and what I take my clients through when I'm looking at doing something innovative that's going to help grow someone's product or grow like their business in a more scalable and sustainable way. So the first one thing that I do, and it's a 3-step process, just so you're aware. The first thing I do is really look at the customer problem. I always start with the customer. It's a big thing that I talk about a lot. And I think it's incredibly important to help you get focused and to build something useful. So I would look and try and understand what are the current pain points within my existing business that I want to solve for that customer. So you could find this out through things like a walk the store exercise, where you kind of go through the process of using your product and how your customers would interact with it to identify any challenges or problems. You can do things like the 5 whys, where you will dive deeper into a specific problem that you've identified to understand the root cause. But the main thing is that you get focused and you understand the customer problem that you're trying to solve. Once you have that, it's time to move on to step 2. This is probably the most interesting part for most of us, which is kind of that brainstorming piece. And why it's important to do the focus part before the brainstorming is that it really kind of directs your conversations and directs what you're doing when you're trying to think of solutions. You have kind of a goal and that you can aim for, and you can be as creative as you like, or you can look at what you've already previously done and see what you can leverage. It can really go any way you like, but the important thing is that you have that goal and you have that focus that's going to help you and your team innovate on behalf of customers and solve real problems, which is going to make any innovations that you implement more productive and more useful to your business. So that's step 2, it's brainstorming and innovation. And then the third step is kind of like prioritization and next steps. We are kind of grouped into one because I think one of the biggest challenges and one of the reasons people get so kind of like, when it comes to like workshops or brainstorming or blue skies thinking, all of these kind of like fluffy corporate terms, is that there's never a follow-up, or the follow-up isn't clear, and it's kind of like, okay, we have all these solutions, but what next? So I like to make sure that my clients are super disciplined in thinking through, okay, so what are our priorities? How are we going to look and prioritize these solutions? What data do we have to do this? And then once we kind of have that prioritization, what are the next steps? How are we going to keep engaged with this? How are we going to follow up? Are we all committed to this? Who's going to own what? And making sure that that plan is in place. And so that you will have a successful innovation session and a successful project to solve the customer problems that you identified as your priority. So that's how I think you can make innovation into a process and how you can teach it and teach it with your teams. I'd love to know your thoughts. Just to summarize, is kind of step 1, focus, understand the problem that you're trying to solve. Step 2, brainstorm, innovate, be creative, think about the solutions that could work. And then step 3, get disciplined, really prioritize, focus down and determine your next steps and ownership so that you make sure that you carry through and succeed in delivering against these actions that you've agreed as a team are important. So that's everything for this short video on innovation. Let me know your thoughts and comments, and as always, if you're interested in striking up a conversation about this, please send me a DM. I'd love to talk to you. Have a good day now. Bye.